I'm your host, Dr. Paul Hopkins, and we're here every Sunday from 3 to 4. And you can also find us at www.900amwurd.com and in the community. My co-host today is Bill Morgan.
All right.
And each week, we bring clarity to the conversation about health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. A centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you. It includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use on your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, and the decisions you make every day. Without further ado, Bill, it's time to get on back here, man.
All right, buddy. Right here with you.
Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Some more volume. I can't hear my ears. Thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be back on the Green Hour.
Let me say this to you, Guy. I never knew you had it in you. I'm just so glad that I found out that you got something going on that I didn't know anything about.
well, this is all about the Green Hour, and
right.
In the Green Hour, we talk about the environment, and the key part and the social integrity of the Green Hour is what we focus on, and how the people and the planet are one. And bringing this thing together, we talk about all the things that are going on. As a naturopath, holistic doctor, we want to talk about the concerns of the people at these days and times, because what's happening is really a travesty that's happening in the industrialization of this world that we live in.
I certainly agree with that. We've talked about this many, many times. One of my primary concerns is that the people really don't take the time to sit down and get the information.
Absolutely.
And that is what I'm getting from you, the idea that the Green Hour is just to bring that information full force.
Full force, absolutely.
And when we do that, we're going to challenge our community to do
absolutely.
what? To call in and talk to us.
Yes, talk to us, but also bring that conversation, that heavy conversation that you don't talk about. And we'll talk about all the things that we do outside of the Green Hour with the classes, the seminars, but ultimately, this is a platform that we want to use that is going to be inspiring to the people, to give you encouragement when you need it, because so many people right now are downtrodden and giving bad news and things like that, and they think it's in a hopeless situation, but guess what? We got hope. If you get informed, and what a great place that Lomax has made.
You know what? It's more than informed. It's just getting it.
Yes, absolutely.
We say so many times that knowledge is the key to power.
Yes, it is.
And I think that what we need to do is that we've got to really go in and take that power back.
Absolutely.
And the only way we can do that is by getting the information, getting that knowledge.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, then guess what? The controls come right back full circle.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm so glad that I'm right here with you, because we can sort of stir the pot, my friend.
You will stir the pot, man, and Bill, you and I have been stirring the pot ever since we met.
A long time.
So I guess folks are saying, well, where he been? So I tell you, folks, that I've been all over, and since we had, at some point in time, I was on the Green Hour for about 3 years, I guess it was, and we took time out and we started doing other things. Well, since I've been gone, I've been actually commissioned part of the United Nations. I have a seat now on the floor of the United Nations. I sit on the floor as part of, I got a special consultant status. So I sit on the floor in the division called the ECOSOC, which is the Economic Social Council. So what we talk about is about the issues that are really going on in the world. When there's a civil disorder going on anywhere in the world, all 190 nations get together to start talking about this thing. Wow. So guess what? Brother sitting right there, being able to talk to the people about what's going on.
That's really out of sight. Because
Absolutely.
you know what? Let me just say this to you. For many, 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 many years, someone who looked like me didn't even know what the United Nations was for.
Absolutely.
Especially that it had something doing like what you're talking about right now, that we could even have access to it.
Exactly. And then when you get to the topics of conversations that are going on, here I am in New York City sitting on the floor, and yet I don't know if people even in the United States know what really is going on within the United States, which is on that floor.
Real quick question. Do they really just have regular conversation?
Yes, they have productive conversation.
Okay.
And awareness level is a lot higher. For
Okay.
example, we have these goals that have been set up since 2015. There's a set of goals that everyone, if you're listening audience, you can start to chime in and look at this. It's actually called the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And they tag mark it as S as in Sam, D as in David, G's, SDGs. And those 17 goals have everything to do with, for example, poverty, no more poverty, better health quality.
Right.
They actually go into things like sustainability, water. There's a whole list of them that are about 17 specific goals that we go into. But all it means is that all the 190 nations got together and said, well, what's bothering everyone? And where is the common factor? And yes, it's with those 17 goals. So they came together, said those 17 goals. And then in 2030 is the end mark. We're going to come together and see what we've done. And those who had not participated and done those things that they said they committed to, they want to actually impose sanctions on them.
I'm looking at just the top 8 where it says no poverty.
No poverty.
Number 1, zero hunger,
Got it.
good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, and decent work and economic growth. Now that first 8 is enormous.
Absolutely.
Now, if they are really going to be able to try to take that on,
Absolutely.
you know what? They're going to need us.
Yes, absolutely.
To do that.
Because ultimately all these things deal with your health and
Right.
how it comes back to the ground level. When you
Right.
come down to the ground level, how is your health doing?
Okay.
So at this time, we got people chiming in already.
Okay.
So I want to reach out to the family.
All right.
Anyone want to just yell and just say, hey, what's up? Welcome back, whatever. Give me a call. This is actually, you can follow us on hashtag Green Hour, or on Twitter at Green Hour 900 if you want to chime in. If you have a question, if you want to make a comment or a suggestion or anything, you can always go through hashtag Green Hour or Twitter at Green Hour 900. We got one caller coming in. We got Herb. Herb on the line. Herb?
Good afternoon. Welcome back.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. How you doing today?
I'm doing not bad.
Good, good.
My question is, how effective is bleach? Because a friend of mine, I told her I was using Soleil at one time. Then she questioned the effect of how clean it was, how sanitized. But I also use vinegar. Could you tell me about bleach and vinegar?
Sure. Well, we recommend Soleil products, which are organic products that are made with the product of moringa, which is the Moringa aloe, which is we call the miracle tree, which means it's all natural, organic. When you take something like bleach, usually when you're cleaning with bleach, most people will use bleach in the form of cleaning something like mold in the corner or issues with mold. But believe it or not, when you put bleach to mold, it actually makes it airborne. So that's why when you use something, we recommend you use something organic, like someone did mention to you, vinegar. Some people use a combination of vinegar and water or other elements that are more organic. Because, for example, if you have a wood base and you actually use bleach, it only gets the surface. When it cleans the surface, now the wood has holes or spores that are actually the algae or bacteria grows in. So after you clean the surface, it didn't go nowhere. It's still there. So that's why when we take something like a Soleil organic product that's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antiseptic, and antiparasitic, it actually goes and attacks it, goes into the spores, and actually pulls it out. So that's why we say more organic is better, always going to be better. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Also, we have Joseph on the line. Joe?
Yeah, Joseph from Massachusetts. Could you hear me?
Yes, Joe from Massachusetts. How you doing this afternoon?
Pretty good.
Good.
Congratulations with the United Nations. I think it's a good concept. But I think the problem is two main problems. First one is miseducation. the best way to solve the problem is the way the Chinese teach their children, to educate themselves. I learned the hard way in many things, that good for you, not good for you, not listening to people by going to the library and research, like lactic intolerant. I used to love milk. Most human beings lose the digestive enzyme after the age of 6. The dairy farmers, they're big lobbying groups, so they push it on you and tell a bunch of lies. Another point is, I went back to Trinidad and Tobago, country of my birth, to do agriculture. And Monsanto got a patent on these genetically modified seed, like corn seed. So the local farmer can't use his own seed, and you can't use the seed after you grow the corn. Same thing with India. And this is where all the problem is. The people are greedy. And because of their greediness, they're giving all kind of false information, and we are polluting the environment. We're destroying the environment. And I think another problem I hang up, many of these black so-called experts love to get on the radio and lecture to people, but they live in the Ivy Tower. They live in the suburbs. They have big houses. They have $100,000 income. And then they want to tell a poor person about how to eat, not to eat, what to do, and how to do. And that's where all the problem is. One size don't fit all. People got to educate themselves. When we teach black people to educate themselves, because that mentality comes from slavery with the house Negro or field Negro mentality. The house Negro telling the field Negro how to live, but he's not out there picking cotton in 90 degrees weather. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I can see, Joe. You can go, man. I hear you. But you know what? That's the whole point.
Yes.
You know, that's why I made the plight to do what I did and to get to the UN. You know, all of the things that we talk about, you know, it's not what you think. When you get to the UN, really, it's the place, the meeting place to make change happen. And that's why we do that. But you're right on point with the industrialization of everything that's going on. It's about greed, follow the mighty dollar, and that's where you're going to find all the problems. So it is about education. That's why we're doing the Green Hour, so that people can know what's going on and that to be enlightened about what's going on, even if it's just to sow a seed, an organic seed.
That's exactly right.
To actually help the person, to stimulate them to go into the right direction. That's the key. So thank you, Joe, for your input. I appreciate that. Next call is Aminata.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I used to enjoy listening to you on the radio.
Well, thank you so much.
I have seen you at the attack meetings, too.
Yes, okay. All right. With Michael Kort.
Okay, look, now I hear you mention Celia. I haven't seen Celia products in over a year now.
Oh, yeah, they're actually, you can order them. You can order them right online. So we'll be giving out the information at some point in time during the show through either commercial or telephone number.
It used to be in my health food store, and it used to be a ShopRite, but...
Well, I think I know there's some redevelopment going on with the formulas and things that they're putting together with maintaining the proper level of consistency and also nourishment for the actual product. So I would say just stay tuned, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, Bill, you know, this is something that we talk about all the time, is that going into the industrialization of the foods and things like that. You know, we're in a special time right now. You know, that time is, you know, time just flipped over. You're, you know, pre-summer. Body, you should be doing something.
Yes, exactly right.
You know what that is?
Yes.
Detoxing. This is the time for detox.
Just getting ready to say that, you know. Wait. What was that knot in my left side?
In your left side.
It felt real hard. It's called detox, buddy. You're being backed up.
It's absolutely. And this time, you know, when you're detoxing, you know, this is the time of year that we say cleanse every change of seasons.
Now,
So
do me a favor. Give me a real good breakdown of what detox is.
absolutely. Well, you have not only the lower intestines, but the large intestines, but you also have this thing called the lymphatic system.
Right, okay.
The lymphatic system is your secondary circulatory system.
Okay.
Not like your first system, which is your heart, which
Right.
pumps arteries and veins.
Right.
The secondary circulatory system is all throughout the body. You have two pairs of nose, one under the collarbone, one under the armpits, and one in the groin, and two
Right.
in the groin area. All those deal with the ability to drain the body of all the toxins. Now, this is how we believe believe it's more important to have a detox than ever is because of the industrialization of the foods.
Yes.
The GMOs, genetically modified organisms, the things that are in our foods, the things that you don't know that are not being told to you because there's no labeling laws.
Yes.
All of these things are countering inside the body, staying there because they're not alive, clogs up the system. Next thing you know, heart problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, artery veins, issues with TIAs, transient ischemic attacks, where people are having literally just heart attacks and having strokes. All of these things are pollutants in the body because you're not draining properly. So detox with that lymphatic system,
right.
We do it every change of season.
Well, you know what? We really want to stay on this because, folks, we really don't recognize many times how important it is for us to stay clear.
Yes, clear.
Let's just use that word.
Yes.
To stay clear.
Yes, right.
Sometimes we get clogged up in our brains, because we're so busy rushing around trying to find this, and this.
Absolutely.
And then we take in things that clog us up.
That's right.
That's why what you're talking about is so important.
Absolutely. One of the main areas we talk about a lot is the liver.
Yes.
Okay, your liver, we call the liver your organ of the emotions.
Oh.
You remember, this thing is connected, spirit, mind, and body in that order. So in the liver is the organ of the emotion because it's connected directly to your brain. We call that laws of complementary pairs, which means it's connected directly to your brain. So it feeds your brain. So when you have a toxic liver, guess what? Toxic brain. Can't think right.
So that's why I wake up some days and I'm just kind of fuzzy, right?
And that's why some people will say, Doc, I just don't have no energy no more.
Yes.
I'll go to bed with no energy and I wake up with no energy.
Right.
And this is a commonality that's happening with a lot of people. So it happens with the liver because the liver is a nuclear reactor for the body.
Now, is there something that one can do specifically for the liver?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's a specific herbs that are frequency. Remember, this thing is about frequency. It's about energy. It's not the food, it's the energy in the food. So when you actually have a specific herb, that herb is frequency for a certain part of your body. Can you see God in that?
I heard that.
You got to see God in that. So if you take a specific herb like a dandelion or a burdock root, this is not to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. It's just food for your soul.
I got you.
You got me?
I got you.
I got to say that. Disclaimer. But burdock root is one that's used to cleanse the liver, but it also cleans the mind.
Now, one question on that. Do I have to take that in as a fresh, or can I get it in a situation where I can get it and then I can put it in my food?
Sure. You can actually buy burdock root in capsule form. You can always buy it in capsule form. Out in Fairmount Park, there's tons of it. Just growing,
doing nothing,
everywhere.
right?
Just growing out, growing wild. But you can do things like you can do pretty much any kind of research. We have brothers that go in. We have a class with the men that we go out to the park and we show you how to actually focus the food. But burdock root can also be bought in the herb store.
Okay.
You just steep it 3 to 5 minutes in some hot water, and or even more if it's the root. You want to be about 10 minutes, and then you can drink it twice a day, just in the morning and just before you go to bed.
Okay. And the reason why I brought that up is because I realized that we have this crazy stuff. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let's take this call.
Oh, yeah. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on 900 AM, The Green Hour. We'll be right back.
Oh my God, this weather is so unpredictable. Sunny one day, rainy, windy the next. People are having so much property damage.
I'm glad I know Tim O'Gara with TSO Adjustment Service. I never worry about the weather. TSO has helped me with problems that I didn't even realize was covered under my homeowner's policy.
I can never understand what my policy says or what it even covers.
Call TSO. Ask for Tim, 215-886-7440. They will help you understand your policy and get what you deserve. 215-886-7440.
Creator Roofing. That's the company my dad runs. He's a great roofer and a father too. I've watched my dad over the years. He really cares about his customers like he cares about our family. My dad has been a licensed, bonded roofer for over 20 years. He runs Creator Roofing, he's a block captain, and he started Streets of Hope, a ministry to feed, clothe, and shelter the homeless. Call my dad because he cares about people at 267-333-1778.
Hi, this is Brandon Wallace, the owner of Creator Roofing. Please give us a call at 267-333-1778.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free, no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now. 1-800-981-0472. That's 1-800-981-0472. 1-800-981-0472.
Place Like Home 2, located 2276 Georges Lane, provides a clean and active environment for people who have dementia, Alzheimer's, and physical disabilities. A Place Like Home 2 offers older adults a wide variety of services in a protective group setting, including referrals, daily cognitive therapy, podiatry, exercise, and so much more. Free transportation is possible. If you're looking for a place like home for your loved one, call 215-878-1200.
You're listening to The Green Hour, exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
And welcome back to the Green Hour. And this is Dr. Paul Hopkins, and we're on the Green Hour. I'm here with Bill Morgan.
That's right.
And yes, we are 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Opening up the airways, Bill.
Yes, sir, bro.
Absolutely. Getting to the more people. And if you're just joining us for the first time or just popped in on the conversation, we're talking about detox right now.
Yeah, man, talking about getting constipated or getting stagnated or getting fermented, all that crazy kind of stuff. I want to make sure that I can have a clear brain there. Doc, help a brother out, man.
As you see why I have Bill next to me. He keeps my energy going. We got to herb for that, Bill.
Well, you know what? As it works, Doc. Let me tell you something.
That's right.
As it works. We're not going to say if. We know that it works.
We know it works.
I want you to understand, folks, when you take these things in, your brain will clear. You'll have the ability for, especially, let me go here. You good church folk. Don't you want to talk to the Spirit? Hallelujah. Don't you understand? That's the best ways to have the mind clear.
That's right.
Correct?
That's right. You know, there's a scripture that talks about, know thee not that the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So you got to keep the temple clean.
Yes, sir.
And if you are filling the stuff with a lot of these junk foods, a lot of these things, we're talking about the lymphatic system right now.
Yes.
That secondary circulatory system. It looks like a bunch of web all over the body. You have primary nodes in the areas of the body. But what we really don't talk about is how do we detox that area. The issue with the lymphatic system, not like the first circulatory system, which has a pump, which is the heart, which pumps arteries and veins. The lymphatic system doesn't have a pump.
Oh, that's
so that
right.
means
You're
it has muscles that overlap and they twitch.
Yes.
So it only twitch to clean you out. Guess what, Bill? When you move, it's only stimulated by movement. So you got to move. That means you got to exercise. So you just can't eat right. You got to exercise. You got to keep these things moving. And then when that happens, that starts to flush out the system because the body looks at it and says, all right, I'm going to recirculate these toxins one more time.
Okay.
I'm going to recirculate. And I might have missed something. I might have missed some potassium, some iodine or something. Okay. I might have missed something. Okay. So before I get rid of it, I'm going to recirculate it.
Okay.
So if the person's not stimulating or through movement, it gets blocked, it gets clogged. That's where we have things like lymphoma.
Okay,
lymphoma. Or we have blockage or lumps in the body, or the women have breast lumps. Men have breast lumps also. But we show you how to do a detox. It's called a lymphatic detox.
You know what? Let me tell you something. You just taught me something. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. When I was in the Army back in the 60s, right? I was a pathology assistant, cutting folk open, assisting the pathologists. My friend, I've seen those lymph nodes under the arm.
Absolutely.
And I've seen them, almost to the size of golf balls underneath the armpits.
Absolutely.
I've seen the ones you talked about. Listen. I now understand because those folk are in most cases obese.
Yes.
Okay. So they could not or were not moving around. So now I get it. You see, and Even now, when I'm exercising, you see, I understand now why I don't have that issue because I'm always.
You always exercise.
I'm always exercising and swinging the arms.
Right.
So that's something you're saying we really need to be doing.
You got to move. You got to move.
I get it.
Now, this is the thing about the lymphatic system. Also, is another very important point. The lymphatic point for those who exercise every single day.
Right. Okay.
The lymphatic system only moves one time a day.
Oh. Okay.
So you can see where the stagnation happens.
I get that.
So the body's ridding itself of bacteria, virus, fungus, sepsis, parasites, infections, all of that stuff.
Okay.
Now that's the way the body properly removes it out of the body.
Okay,
Even cancer
great,
cells.
great.
That's naturally how the body releases.
Okay.
So what you have to really do is you got to get this body moving. There's specific herbs and things that we take, but ultimately that activity is highest in the time between 4 a.m. and 12 noon. We call that the cleansing cycle of the circadian rhythm.
Okay.
So between 4 a.m. and actually 12 noon, that means you're detoxing. So that lymphatic system is moving. So also that the large intestines, lower intestines moving. So that's why it's good to exercise in the morning.
Okay, now I got one for you. You say it's cleansing from 4 a.m. to 12 noon. Now I know why when I wake up in the morning, I got the crusties in my eyes.
Yes, right.
Hallelujah.
Yes, the crusties.
I got that stuff in the corner. I'm saying, what in the world is that?
Yeah, they say the Sandman came to see you, but really that's the eye detoxing.
So it's cleansing out the body. It's
Absolutely.
taking that stuff that's inside and pushing it out.
That's right.
It's coming out through those.
Now, when those ducts get clogged, okay, and it can no longer come out,
right,
and you no longer see that in the morning, guess where it's going? It's going back into the eye.
Ooh.
Causes issues like cataracts. How about glaucoma?
Okay.
How about issues with any issues with floaters on the eye?
On the eye.
That's just toxins backing up in the eye.
Now, when you say floaters, does that mean like little black dots inside the
little
eye?
things you wave at when they were also.
Yeah, when you say you be swatting things look like flies, but they're not really flies.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we got one caller. We got another caller. And this is Ernest. Ernest, you there?
Yes, Dr. Paul.
Yes, Ernest. How are you today?
Yes, I wanted to ask you a question about detox.
Sure.
Say if you're taking an herb like hawthorn, which strengthens the heart, should you do the detox first and then take the hawthorn?
Well, remember, we have to go back to universal principles. You got to be in universal principles to the time and the seasons. As we're talking today, remember, key things you got to remember, don't break the universal rules, and that is to cleanse every change of seasons. So the beginning of every summer, winter, spring, fall, you should be doing something. Hawthorn is also is a strengthener for the heart. So you can take the hawthorn anytime you want to. But the detox, that's what we involve when we talk about bitters, like things like the bitters that actually go in and bind and chelate and bind to the toxins to pull it out of that lymphatic system so that you can easily pass it through the intestines. So there's a difference between those two that you're mentioning, but keep in mind, universal principle, cleanse every change of seasons. So you should be doing something every summer, winter, spring, fall. Hawthorn is always just good for the heart, especially now because of the industrialization of the foods. You have to have something to give that energy. If you have slight palpitations or irritations, that's the heart telling you, I don't have enough energy. I'm sputtering, just like a car when it has cheap gas. Backfires. So it's trying to follow through the best way it knows how. So it's trying to fire off. So it started sputtering. So hawthorn is one that we use, absolutely.
Well, if you mix the hawthorn and the detox, aren't you pushing the hawthorn out the body where it's not doing no good?
Detox, remember, detox is a different thing. Remember, this is food, okay? It's not something that's going to be flushed out of the system. This is actually detox. Detox is also pulling the chemicals out, but it's also feeding you at the same time, okay? So that's what the bitters do. They feed you and detox you, bring you back into balance. That's where they correct the problems. So the hawthorn along with the detox is not a bad combination. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ernest.
Okay.
And let me just say this. I'm listening to you. I want to go back to the very beginning when you talk about the simple things that we need to do. Okay. Now, if I heard you correctly, you said simply put, a detox is a process,
Yes.
right, in which a person makes lifestyle changes
Yes.
to clear the body of toxins.
That's right.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and in doing so, these lifestyle changes typically involve doing what? Abstaining from what? Certain harmful things and optimizing
Right.
the body processes.
Exactly.
And some of these changes are temporary,
Absolutely.
such as following a cleansing, I like to say a diet, or something that's more permanent.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
as we go there, I heard you talking about the cleansing of the season.
Mm-hmm.
How then, is there something that's printed around that lets us know that, hey, it's the change of the season. This is what you need to do. Because guess what? I'm stupid. I'm not getting that. You understand where I'm going?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that I'm stupid, but here's the reality. We don't think like that. You know why?
Right.
Because we're so busy doing stuff.
Exactly.
Doing stuff.
And not only that, but we haven't been trained properly.
My point.
We haven't been
My
trained
point.
properly. You don't learn this in school system, because we're not taught the system of feeding the body to
Yes.
correct the issues.
Yes.
And usually you can look at every dis-ease. Remember, the body's in a state of ease. It's
I
in
like
a state
that.
of balance.
I like that.
But when it's out of balance, that's where the
Yes.
word dis-ease comes from. It's just a malnutrition. We can literally say, Bill, that dis-ease is a form of malnutrition, and
Mm-hmm.
you can point a malnutrition issue to every level of dis-ease,
Wow.
which causes imbalance, whether it's water, whether it's minerals, whether it's vitamins, proteins, whatever's going on, and that's what's causing the issues with people. But most importantly, you got to keep your system cleansed right now. We're in an industrial revolution,
Right,
And not only
exactly.
that, but we're in food deserts.
Oh,
It's hard
yes.
to know what stuff. Nobody wants to put a label on nothing.
Correct.
Trust us. We've modified it, but it's good. You can't go by that, you
Yes.
know, and that's why we got to fight for these things.
Did
and
you
let
say
people in.
trust us?
Yeah,
You
trust
better,
us.
You better get
It
out of
works.
here. I don't trust nobody when it comes to my health. You know why?
Yeah.
Because these guys, listen,
Mm-hmm.
without going there, can I say this? Monsanto,
Yes, absolutely.
some of the largest, biggest crooks in the world when it comes to our health, I'm talking about.
absolutely.
I'm not talking about just money, but I'm looking at some of the things that they have produced over the years.
Absolutely,
That have
absolutely.
caused us some real issues.
Right. So you got, we call them Monsanto. I don't call them Monsanto. I call them Monsanto. You know that. And you've heard me say that before. But it's also the soils.
Yes.
The genetically modifying, the sprays.
Yes.
There's one called glyphosate.
Yes.
The glyphosate, GLYPHOSATE. You need to just Google that.
Yeah, that's deep.
Because we're finding glyphosates everywhere. And you wonder why dialysis centers are popping up all over, and it's becoming common ground in your neighborhoods and around your community. And it has a lot to do with the fact that the exposure to more and more toxins.
Yes.
Because Mother Nature's fighting back.
Yes.
Because when they started first spraying, the plant is alive.
Yes,
so it
that's
has
true.
the ability to mutate. So
Yes.
it's actually starting to fight. It's starting to defend itself.
Right.
So guess what? You hit it with that same amount of pesticide or spray,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sits there and say, you missed the spot right here, Bill. You missed the spot.
Wow.
And now it starts to increase its stamina, its ability to mutate.
Now,
So
you know-
now you got super weeds now.
Yes.
So now,
Yes.
so now as you create the super weeds, now you got to increase the dosage.
Yes.
So now you're increasing the chemical on the plant
Yes.
to get the same reaction. So guess what? More chemical in the plant means more chemical in your food.
And the same the chemicals I use this year are not working next year.
You got it.
Because now, as you say, it becomes a super kind of a thing.
It's
You got a
super
caller?
weed. Yeah, got another caller. We have Jocelyn on the line. Jocelyn?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
What causes the mouth to get dry while you're sleeping? And what can you do about it?
What causes the mouth to be dry?
When you're
Well,
sleeping.
well, definitely we got to look at your water.
Yes.
Okay, dehydration. What kind of water are you drinking?
Spring water.
Okay, what kind of spring water?
Poland Spring.
Okay,
River.
that may be your problem right there. We always talk about the water, and the water is a major issue because of the awareness of what happened in Flint, Michigan. That's just a wake-up call. But did you know that in the Philadelphia area, the Delaware Valley, they found 56 traces of pharmaceutical drugs just in our water. Just 56, and that's pharmaceutical drugs. We don't even talk about the fluoride, chlorine, and all the other things, the heavy metals and the cryptosporidium and all those other things. But we're talking about just those pharmaceutical drugs. And with that, when we're seeing that flow into our rivers and streams all over, it's causing major issues. So water is a major piece. There's 4 waters you absolutely have to stay away from.
Which one?
Okay, those 4 waters are anything that says purified, filtered, reverse osmosis, and the last one is distilled. Now let's talk about why. Water is about H2O, hydrogen. Hydrogen is the greatest source of energy known in the universe. Wherever there's hydrogen, there is energy. So if you now purify, filter, reverse, or distill water, you pull the molecule, you pull the charge, you pull the hydrogen, you pull the charge. So that's dead water. So when you now ingest that water, it's going to send you into a state of what we call acidosis. When you go into an acidosis, if you got some inflammation already in that hip, in that shoulder, in that back, if you got heart problems, it's going to make it worse because now the body's trying to regenerate your pH, which is your energy in your body, and it's going to start going after your bones, your joints, your ligaments. So they're going to ache like a toothache and also dry the mouth. So you have to now go for a better quality of water that has a higher alkalinity. Now, we always say the Most High is a genius, and he'll do something that to confine the wise. So when you think that you can't afford it because all the waters are too expensive, you know, there's one water that I always talk about. We say spring water as a naturopathy.
Yes.
Spring water, but it must be bottled at the source.
Right.
Okay? So any spring water, but it has to be bottled at the source.
Could you name some?
Sure. Fiji would be one. You know, Fiji water, but that is a little expensive. But there's one that's right in the dollar store that I tell everybody about, which probably ain't going to be there after I mention this. It's called Crystal Geyser.
Yes.
Okay, Crystal Geyser.
Crystal Geyser?
Yes, it looks like a cheap water.
It sure does.
It looks like a cheap water, but, you know, their concept is that why spend money on advertising when we know we got good water?
I hear that. I hear that.
How do you spell the first word?
Crystal, Crystal.
And the first one that you mentioned?
Is Fiji, right. But there's a lot of them. There's one Fiji, Fiji, like the Fiji Islands, because that's where it comes from. See, these waters are waters that come from aquifers and geysers. They're deep in the earth, untouched by air. So when you first tap them or open them, that's the first time they touch air. So those who know they have a good water or pure or a pure source of water from the planet, they don't have to do anything. They bottle it up, sell it to you. Okay? So you got to get a better quality water. Now, also, one last thing. That's the quality. You got to deal with the quantity. How much water do you drink a day?
That was my next point.
Yeah.
How much do you drink a day?
Maybe 16 ounces or six bottles.
Okay, well, there's a universal rule with water. Okay, it can't be 8 glasses of water. That's where they want us all to believe that it's 8 glasses, but people are different height, weight, sizes, and shapes, so it can't be the same. It has to be universal. There's an African word called Ubuntu. You hear that, Bill? Ubuntu. A South African word means Ubuntu. It means if it don't work for everybody, then it don't work.
That's simple enough. That's simple enough. I hear that.
So 8 glasses doesn't work for everybody. So the only thing that's going to work is when you take half of your body weight in ounces. So how much do you weigh? Do you want to tell that on the air? I don't know if you want to tell that on the air, but
130.
Okay. 130.
Okay.
So if you take 130 and divide that by 2, what do you get? 65. So that's your magic number, 65 ounces. Now you take 65 ounces and divide that by 16.9, which is a bottle of water, and then you get 8.45. Is that right? Let's see, 130, 65 divided by 16.9. Yeah, 3.8. That's 3.8. So that's 3.8. So that's almost 4 bottles of water. Got it?
Oh, okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
So that's your magic number. Now, if you're not a water drinker, we don't say go there right away. Okay, take your time. Take your time. We say crawl, walk, run till you get to your number.
Yes.
Okay, don't try to do a whole lot of water.
Yes.
You know, people start doing too much water.
Yes.
Your urine tells everything. The color of your urine is everything.
Yes.
It should
What
be
about
like
a little bit of lemon in the water?
well, you gotta say yes and no.
Yes.
Because yes, lemon purifies the liver, but what kind of lemon and where it come from?
There
That's
you
the
go.
whole other thing.
There you go.
If it's a GMO, it has to be organic lemon. Okay?
Okay.
Has to be organic. Okay, thank you so much.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
We got another call. We got Coker. I want to grab Coker.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
Coker.
ahead.
Dr. Paul is in the house.
Yes, Miss Coca. How
All
are
right,
you?
all
How
right.
are you?
I'm much better now that you're here. And how's the family?
Oh, everyone is doing wonderful. Everyone is doing wonderful, and I'm sure your family is doing well also.
One more tip to the lady who just hung up. Try to drink your water by itself.
Yes.
Just plain water.
Yes, yes.
Because
Good point.
When you drink it while you're eating food, you're not drinking water.
Right.
That's right.
And also, you remember, the great point, Coca, always a good point. You know, the body's looking for water. And everything that's not water, it has to work to get it out, to get to it. So, Bill's over here dancing now. He liked that comment you made, Coca. So,
It's not easy drinking water all day. But
Yes.
if you're really drinking your water correctly, that's pretty much all you're going to drink, really.
Absolutely. And you see some dynamic changes to the body. Cleansing, the hair, the skin, the nails, the beauty, the glow, you know, everything comes back when you get water. You'd be surprised what
terrific.
water does.
That's terrific.
So thank you so much, Coca. And
So you'll be on every Sunday at
every
this time.
Sunday I'll be right here, here.
And here's another quick question.
Yes.
Well, here's the first quick question. Cooking with electricity.
Yes.
Could you give me some information on that? My daughter is in a place where she just has an electric stove, and she's been complaining for 10 years about this, that, and the other, and I'm wondering if using that electric stove all the time may be part of the reason.
Well, maybe not just the stove. That's a form of cooking just to get the heat. But it's more about what is she cooking her food in.
Yes.
You know, like the pots, the pans, and things like that. Is it cast iron? Is it steel? Is it not those, copper? Or is it something that's using with the sprays in the pan that peel out and that stuff goes in your food? So you gotta, that would be the number one question you want to ask her. You know, and if there's a specific problems that she's facing or a symptom that she's asking, you sort of put the two and two together.
Because probably in the 90s, I was at a pass-up class, and there was a husband and wife teaching this class, and they stressed not cooking with electric. So I really need some information specifically about using electricity to cook.
Yeah, I would say just, probe for more information. And this is your daughter, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. Probe for more information. Get back to me, and I'll check into it with you. Okay. And we have to ask more questions. There are more questions that need to be asked.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Coca. Always a pleasure to hear from you.
Likewise.
All right.
So long.
Dr. Paul, something that she's talking about there, the whole eating thing and then drinking along with it. One thing, what we have to recognize is that while we're eating, if we're taking in liquids, I'm not just saying water. Folk, remember, what are you doing when you do? Remember, you've got a stove here in your stomach. When you're putting food in there, and if you put water in there, what does it do? It liquefies the acids that are there so that the body cannot do what? The whole process of peristalsis now has to wait because it's got to pull the water out.
Absolutely.
And by the time it does that, you got a garbage pail.
Absolutely.
Can I say that?
Absolutely, you can say that. And you know what? It's the charge and the polarity of the charge that's in the water.
Yes.
That's why alkalized water will only support the positivity of the gut, which is the alkaline, which you say the negative charge in the gut.
Right.
So many of the people that have issues with diarrhea, irritable bowel problems, Crohn's disease, inflammation of any kind in the bowels has a lot of the issues are gut issues. A lot of gut issues caused by the implementation of so much of the gluten issues, the GMOs, and all those things we've been talking about. Tears up the villi. In the intestines, and that villi actually takes the food out of your body normally and brings it into your body. Takes it out of food, brings it into you, so you can absorb it. So now we have no assimilation. So exactly what you're saying, the assimilation process, people aren't assimilating the nutrients.
I'm really glad you gave the formula about drinking the water. The reason why I'm saying it because I saw a young lady on YouTube the other day, and now let me tell you something. She had a large container of Crystal Geyser.
Oh, right.
And she was sucking it down like she couldn't breathe. And I'm going to do this today.
Yes.
And she was all over the place. But
Yes.
she was skinny as all get out.
Okay.
But here, see, we've got to recognize, going back to the formula, that the formula works. You just can't look and say, well, she drank a whole one of these all day long.
Absolutely.
But that's for her. That's
Right.
not for you.
That's right.
It's not for me.
That's right.
You know, I may have to drink 2.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Okay, go right ahead.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Listen to Laborers Live.
We created the weekend. We created the 40-hour work week. We just want enough to feed our family, be able to send our children to college, and let our next generation do better than we did.
To people that might have forgot how important unionism is in a country like the United States. People now infringing on our 8-hour workday, trying to work people more than 8 hours without overtime, trying to work people without benefits. In the long run, everybody's getting a fat paycheck except the worker. So this is really a wake-up call for America.
The struggle is continuous. Tune in to Laborers Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Sponsored by LESIT, the Laborers Employers Cooperation Education Trust of the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and vicinity.
Local 332, Sam Staten Jr. Business Manager. Local 57, Esteban Vera Business Manager. Local 135, Dan Woodall Jr. Business Manager. Local 413, James Harper Jr. Business Manager. The Laborers District Council, Ryan Boyer Business Manager, and Tony Staten, Executive Director of LESIT.
Tell us how you really feel. Follow us on social media at OnWord. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM WURD and 900 AM WURD. Philadelphia, independent black media. You're listening to The Green Hour, exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent black media.
And welcome back to the Green Hour. And this is Dr. Paul Hopkins. I'm here with Bill Morgan.
That's right.
And we had a good show today, Bill.
Yeah, man, getting started
really
right
talked
off the
about
bang.
the things, sort of getting back, if
Right.
you're listening. This is my comeback show here. I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that we're able to now talk to the family,
Yes.
again. And we can actually talk about the real issues that are going on. So we challenge you every week to come back every 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, every
Yes,
Sunday.
that's correct.
To come back and just give us the information that you see out in the street and around the airways and the Wi-Fi and the internet.
All of the stuff.
All
that's
of
out there.
the information.
Yes.
Because we need all that information to bring it in.
Exactly
So
right.
I want to thank the producers, Michael Ledbetter and Laura Lomax, also Sarah Lomax, and the entire Lomax family for
Yes.
allowing us to have this platform.
Yes, indeed.
It's been an awesome experience. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Right.
I want to thank our production engineer, Mr. Mike Moore. Mike Moore.
Hey, in the house, Mike in the house.
Mike is holding it down for us. He's holding it down for us.
Yeah,
He's holding it
all
down
right.
for us. And we just want to thank all the family and friends and with all the support that they've given myself as National Holistic Doctor